The sun was rising over the city of Arendor, casting golden light on its sparkling towers. The capital of humanity's newest colony, Arendor was a city of progress and innovation. People hurried through the streets, some walking to work, others enjoying the first warm light of the day. The city seemed alive with energy, but today it was more alive than ever. It was the day of the Festival of Stars, a celebration of human achievement in space exploration. Children ran through the plazas, their laughter echoing off the glass and steel towers. Holographic displays lit up the streets, showing images of rockets, distant planets, and humans exploring the stars. People smiled, waved at the projections, and pointed at the images of faraway worlds. Families gathered on terraces to watch performers who danced on levitating platforms, their movements graceful and precise. Street musicians played music that floated through the air, blending with the sound of hovercrafts above and the murmur of the crowd. Drones carried cameras and broadcasted the festival to people in other parts of the city, and even to other colonies nearby. Everything was bright, cheerful, and full of life. High above the city, orbiting in silence, was a warship of humanity's defense fleet. It floated unseen, cloaked from the eyes of the civilians below. Its hull was smooth and reflective, designed with advanced stealth technology that made it nearly invisible even to the most sensitive sensors. Only a few officers on the bridge knew it was there. They watched the city below with pride and concern. Captain Lyra Vance stood at the command console, her hands hovering over the control panels. She had served in the fleet for over 10 years, and she knew that peace was always fragile. Even in a city celebrating human achievement, she could feel tension beneath the surface. Her crew moved with quiet efficiency, scanning the area around Arendor for any sign of danger. "Morning reports are normal," said Lieutenant Rami Chen, the ship's communications officer. His voice was calm but carried a hint of unease. "No anomalies, no incoming traffic. The festival is peaceful." Lyra nodded, but her eyes stayed on the screens. "Keep monitoring," she said. "Even during peace, we can't lower our guard. Humanity's safety depends on vigilance." Meanwhile, down in the city, people laughed and played without a care in the world. Children chased small robotic pets that scuttled across the plazas. Families shared meals, tasting delicacies from every corner of the human colonies. The scent of sweet pastries and roasted foods filled the air. Traders sold trinkets and toys, holographic displays attracting crowds with colorful lights. In the crowd, a young boy named Elior tugged at his mother's hand. "Mom, look at that one," he shouted, pointing at a display of a spacecraft flying past a ringed planet. His eyes were wide with wonder. His mother, Tara, smiled and lifted him onto her shoulders. "It's amazing, isn't it?" she said. "Humans can reach so far, see so much. One day you might even go there yourself." Elior's gaze followed the holographic ship as it spun and rotated, performing intricate maneuvers in the air. For a moment, he forgot everything else. The streets, the noise, even the fact that he had chores waiting at home. He only thought of the stars and what humans could achieve. High above, the fleet monitored the same area. Sensors scanned every inch of space near Arendor. The crew checked for any sign of alien activity, space debris, or anomalies. For weeks, things had been quiet, almost too quiet. Then on the edge of the sensor grid, a small blip appeared. It was subtle, almost easy to miss, but the ship's automated systems detected it instantly. Lieutenant Chen noticed it first. "Captain, there's a minor anomaly near the outer orbit," he said. "I don't detect hostile intent, but it's unusual." Lyra's brow furrowed. "Can we identify it?" she asked, her voice steady but sharp. The screen displayed a small, dark object moving with precision, almost as if it were watching the planet below. "It's small, maybe a probe," Chen replied. "But the trajectory, it's intentional." Lyra turned to the crew. "All stations, monitor it. Keep scanning. Notify me if anything changes. Humanity may have reason to worry, but we will act wisely. Remember, we are ready." Below, oblivious to the subtle threat above, the festival reached its peak. Lanterns floated in the air, casting a soft glow as the day shifted into evening. Performers on levitating platforms executed synchronized dances, their movements reflecting in the glass towers. Families cheered, children laughed, and for a moment the city seemed perfect, untouched by fear. On a quiet street corner, a small group of scientists and engineers whispered among themselves. They had been observing strange patterns in the planet's communications network, odd signals that didn't match any known human technology. None of the signals posed immediate danger, but they hinted at something unknown, something that might challenge humanity's understanding of the universe. One of them, Dr. Kira Malin, checked her portable sensor device again. "It's still there," she murmured, repeating in the same pattern. "Whoever or whatever is sending this, they're studying us." Her colleague Joran nodded. "We should report it. If the fleet doesn't detect it yet, they need to know." Little did they know Captain Lyra and her crew were already aware. The anomaly was only the first small sign of what was coming. Back on the city terraces, Elior clapped his hands as the performers finished their routine. "That was amazing," he shouted. "I want to fly a ship like that someday." His mother smiled. "Maybe you will," she said softly, unaware of the warship silently hovering in orbit, unseen but ready to protect. Night began to fall over Arendor, and the festival lights grew brighter against the darkening sky. Lanterns floated gently, casting reflections on the streets below. Music filled the air, blending with laughter and cheers. The city looked peaceful, but above, the fleet's crew stayed alert. Every sensor, every radar pulse, every communication channel was under careful watch. "Captain," Chen said quietly, "the anomaly is moving closer." Lyra nodded. "Keep tracking it. Notify me of any changes in speed or trajectory. Humanity will not be caught off guard." For the citizens below, it was a night of wonder and joy. For the humans above, it was a night of vigilance. The contrast between laughter and duty was stark, but necessary. In the vastness of space, peace was never guaranteed, and humanity had learned that survival depended on preparation, courage, and intelligence. As the festival reached its final act, a brilliant display of holographic fireworks lit the sky. People cheered, clapped, and waved. For the moment, all seemed perfect. But somewhere beyond the stars, unseen eyes watched Arendor, observing every light, every movement, and every heartbeat of the city. And high above, the cloaked warship waited, silent and ready. Humanity's calm before the storm was about to end. Captain Lyra gazed out of the bridge window, her expression resolute. "Whatever comes," she said almost to herself, "humanity will face it. We always do." And with that, the first signs of tension began to ripple through space, invisible to those who still laughed, played, and dreamed below. The city of Arendor was peaceful tonight. But peace is often only the first act in a story of courage, resilience, and the human spirit. The night sky over Arendor glittered with thousands of lanterns floating gently above the streets. Music from the festival below blended with the soft hum of drones hovering overhead. Families laughed. Children chased robotic pets, and performers on levitating platforms spun and twirled in perfect synchronization. The city seemed alive with celebration, but high above, orbiting silently, the human warship had been watching, cloaked and invisible. Captain Lyra Vance stood at the command bridge, eyes scanning the starfield for any unusual movement. The anomaly detected earlier had not disappeared. In fact, it seemed to be moving closer to the planet. Lieutenant Rami Chen tapped the console. "Captain, the object is approaching a low-orbit trajectory. It's maintaining speed and direction, and it appears to be observing the planet. I recommend readiness protocols be initiated." Lyra nodded. "Acknowledged. Prepare shields and defensive measures. Keep communications on standby. We need to ensure civilian safety first. Humanity's first responsibility is to protect its own." The ship's engines hummed softly as energy fields began to pulse across its hull, invisible to the sensors of anyone below. Every crew member moved with calm precision, understanding the delicate balance between showing strength and maintaining peace. Below, in the city streets, no one noticed the subtle shift in the atmosphere. Children still laughed and citizens still cheered, thinking the unusual brilliance in the sky was part of the festival. Yet a few people looked up, squinting at the stars. A shimmer, almost like a ripple in the night sky, caught their attention. Elior, the young boy from the festival, tugged at his mother's hand. "Mom, look," he shouted. His finger pointed at the sky, where a faint glow seemed to shimmer and then disappear. Tara lifted him onto her shoulders. "It's just lights from the festival, Elior," she said. Yet even she felt a strange chill, a sense that something was not as simple as it appeared. Then, without warning, the cloaking field above the capital disengaged. The warship slowly revealed itself, emerging from invisibility like a giant silver guardian descending from the stars. Its hull gleamed under the city lights, smooth and sleek, reflecting the lanterns below. Energy conduits pulsed along its surface, giving the ship a sense of life, as though it were aware of the city it watched over. Gasps and screams rose from the streets. Some people shielded their eyes from the dazzling display, while others pointed in awe, thinking the ship was a festival performance. Holographic displays flickered as news feeds scrambled to capture the image, broadcasting it across the city. "Look, it's real," a young man shouted, holding his phone up to record the moment. His friends stared, mouths open, unable to speak. The ship's size was impossible to comprehend from the ground. It seemed to stretch for miles, massive yet elegant. Captain Lyra observed the reactions from the bridge, her voice calm but firm. "Status report," she ordered. Lieutenant Chen checked the systems. Civilians are calm for the moment, though some panic is beginning. Energy shields are at full capacity. Alien anomaly is still on trajectory but remains passive. Lyra exhaled slowly. "Keep monitoring. Engage only if necessary. This is a demonstration of our presence, not aggression. Humanity must show strength, not fear." Meanwhile, on the city terraces, citizens had begun to scatter, unsure whether the ship's appearance was a threat. Automated announcements from emergency systems instructed people to stay calm and move to safe zones. Emergency drones hovered over streets, guiding the population efficiently. The coordination between civilian systems and military protocols was seamless, a testament to humanity's planning and foresight. From the warship's bridge, Lyra and her officers observed the city below, not with fear, but with pride. "They don't realize what we've achieved," Lyra said quietly. "All this peace, all this joy, they think it is ordinary, but it is extraordinary. Humanity built this." The alien anomaly, a dark, sleek object, hovered near the planet's upper atmosphere. It rotated slowly, scanning the warship and the city below. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a small pulse of energy radiated from the alien object, and the fleet's sensors registered it. Chen frowned. "It's scanning us. Low intensity, but deliberate. I've never seen this type of technology before." Lyra nodded. "Keep it tracked. Civilian zones first, always. The festival must not become a battlefield." In the city streets, Elior ran toward a small square where holographic screens displayed news. Images of the ship filled every screen. People stopped to watch, a mix of fear and wonder in their eyes. One elderly man whispered to his companion, "Humans built that? Above our city?" His companion nodded. "Yes. And we should be proud. If anyone can defend us, it's them." For the first time, the citizens below began to grasp the enormity of human achievement. The ship was not just a vessel of war. It was a statement, a shield over the people, proof that humanity would not bow to threats. Back on the warship, Lyra adjusted the sensors, monitoring the alien object. Its movements were calculated, almost cautious, as though it were testing humanity's response. The crew speculated silently. Was it reconnaissance? An early warning probe? Or the first signal of something larger? "Captain," Chen said, "the anomaly is not engaging. No weapons detected, but it's maintaining position above the planet." "The civilians below are starting to panic." Lyra's gaze hardened. "Then it's time to act. Not with weapons, but with presence. Display defensive measures. Energy shields visible from the city. Let them see that humanity will not be caught unprepared." Across the city, the warship's energy field shimmered visibly in the night sky. Pulsing light arcs danced across the hull, creating a halo effect that reflected onto the buildings below. Citizens stopped running. All replaced panic as people realized the ship's presence was not a threat. It was protection. Children pointed upward, their eyes wide. "It's like a giant star," Elior shouted. Others cheered, now understanding that humanity's defenders were above them, watching, ready. Tara held her son close. "It's beautiful," she said, "and it's ours. Humans made it to keep us safe." In the upper orbit, the alien anomaly paused as though considering humanity's display. It emitted another faint pulse, almost like a signal, and then slowly began to retreat toward the far reaches of the system. "Analysis?" Lyra asked. Chen shook his head. "It seems..." Surprised. Perhaps even cautious. "We showed capability without aggression. That may have changed its approach." Lyra allowed herself a small smile. "Then humanity has made its statement tonight. Strength through vigilance. Courage without unnecessary violence. Let's keep it that way." Below, the city slowly returned to calm. The festival resumed in a subdued form, music playing softly, lanterns still drifting through the sky. People spoke in hushed tones about the magnificent warship and the strange object above. Rumors spread, but awe and pride dominated fear. Humanity had revealed its power, but not recklessly. Its message was clear. Humans could protect their own, and they would do so intelligently and courageously. Elior climbed onto his mother's shoulders again. "I want to fly one of those ships someday," he shouted, pointing at the fading lights of the warship in orbit. Terra smiled. "And you will, Elior. You'll see the stars and defend them too." From the bridge, Lyra watched the planet below. Lights twinkled in the streets, citizens returning to the festival and their homes. Humanity had faced the unknown without panic. Courage, creativity, and determination had kept them safe. Lyra turned to her crew. "We remain on high alert. The anomaly may return or others may follow. But tonight, humanity showed that we are prepared, we are capable, and we are never alone." The warship remained above the capital, a silent guardian in the night. Its presence reassured the people, reminded them of human ingenuity, and warned any who might threaten them that humanity was vigilant, resourceful, and ready to protect its own. As the stars shimmered above and the festival lights reflected off the towers, the citizens of Arendor learned a subtle lesson. Laughter and celebration could exist even under watchful eyes, but vigilance and courage were always part of the human spirit. And somewhere beyond the stars, the alien observers retreated silently, uncertain of what they had encountered. Humanity had revealed itself not as fragile or fearful, but as clever, resilient, and determined. The calm of the night had shifted. Something greater awaited, but for now humans had turned the first moment of fear into a display of awe and inspiration. The festival continued, laughter mingling with the soft hum of the warship above. And for the first time that night, humans below felt a deep sense of pride. They were not alone in the universe, but they were ready for whatever challenges the stars might send. The night after the festival, Arendor was quiet, but the tension in the city lingered. Citizens went about their routines cautiously, still talking about the warship that had decloaked above their capital. Many watched the sky, hoping to catch a glimpse of the massive vessel. Though they had felt awe and pride, they also sensed that something beyond their understanding was approaching. High above, the warship remained in orbit, cloaked in its protective shield but fully visible to its sensors. Captain Lyra Vance moved across the bridge with calm authority. The alien anomaly had disappeared, but its presence left questions unanswered. Lieutenant Chen reported the latest readings. Sensors detect multiple unidentified objects emerging from the outer system. They are moving in formation, but slowly. No weapons fire yet, but their energy signatures indicate advanced technology. Lyra's expression hardened. Prepare defensive measures. Deploy orbital satellites to monitor their approach. Make sure civilian areas remain safe. Humanity will not act out of fear, but we will not be unprepared. On the ground, Tara and her son Elior continued their cautious routines. Stores were open, and lights glimmered across the streets, but citizens were aware that the peace they had taken for granted could be fragile. Teachers spoke to children about staying calm. City officials reminded everyone to follow emergency guidelines, and drones patrolled the skies to ensure safety. Meanwhile, aboard the warship, the crew worked tirelessly. Engineers adjusted shield frequencies. Pilots ran simulation drills, and communications officers intercepted signals to try to understand the approaching fleet. Humanity had faced unknown threats before, but this was different. These objects were intelligent, organized, and clearly evaluating the planet below. "Captain," Chen said, "they're analyzing our fleet. They're calculating probabilities, predicting responses. It's as if they're testing us before committing to an attack." Lyra nodded. "Then we will respond intelligently. Aggression is not our first option. Strategy is our strength." The alien fleet, now fully visible in distant orbit, moved in a precise formation. Sleek black ships reflected the light of distant stars. Each vessel was smaller than the human warship, but there were more of them, their numbers enough to challenge a direct confrontation. Yet they did not fire. They were observing, probing, waiting for humanity to make the first move. On the bridge, Tactical Officer Wren studied the fleet's formation. "They are organized, Captain, but predictable. They use repetition and patterns. If we exploit that, we can protect the planet without direct confrontation." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Prepare to engage passive defense protocols. Satellites with decoy signals. automated shield generators over civilian zones, and energy pulse arrays to confuse their sensors. We will defend without escalating to unnecessary violence. Below, citizens noticed something strange in the sky. Small flashes of light danced above near the stars, but unlike fireworks. Some thought it was part of another festival display, but others whispered about alien ships. News channels broadcast messages urging calm and cooperation, explaining that the fleet was under surveillance and there was no immediate danger. In a quiet room, Dr. Kira Malin analyzed sensor data transmitted from the warship. Their technology is advanced, she said to her colleague Joran, but it's patterned. They lack adaptability and real-time response. That is humanity's advantage. We can predict their moves better than they can predict ours. Joran nodded, impressed. We just need to exploit that without risking the city below. Meanwhile, Lyra addressed her crew on the bridge. Tonight we show them that humanity does not respond with panic. We respond with intelligence, creativity, and coordination. Protect the civilians, protect the planet, and show the strength of our people. The warship deployed its defensive satellites, small drones armed with sensor arrays and decoy emitters. Each satellite moved in formation, mimicking the warship's energy signature. It created the illusion of multiple vessels, making it difficult for the alien fleet to focus. Chen monitored the readings. The decoys are working. They are targeting our satellites as if they were the main ship. Their calculations are thrown off. We have time. Lyra allowed herself a small nod of satisfaction. Excellent. Keep monitoring and maintain all shields at full capacity. Civilians first, always. Below, Elior watched as strange flashes of light reflected off the buildings. Mom, what are those? He asked, curiosity overcoming fear. Tara held his hand. That is humanity protecting itself, Elior. Those lights, that is courage in action. People are working together to make sure no one is hurt. The alien fleet adjusted its formation, sensing the deception. Their ships moved in precise arcs, probing the environment. Lyra studied the movements. They are adapting, she said. But their patterns are still predictable. We need to give them a taste of human ingenuity. She turned to the engineers. Prepare to engage the sensor interference pulses. Use them strategically to confuse their formation and slow their approach. We will protect without striking first. The engineers worked quickly, adjusting energy fields and calibrating pulses. The warship's surface shimmered with controlled bursts of light, invisible from the planet below but active in space. The alien fleet's formation wavered as signals bounced off the decoys, creating uncertainty in their calculations. High above, a small group of alien ships veered slightly, attempting to bypass the interference. They are testing our patience, Chen said. But they are still cautious. They have not committed to attack, Lyra smiled. That is all we need. We force them to hesitate while keeping our people safe. Below, citizens continued to observe the sky, now fascinated rather than fearful. News reports showed images of the warship, its defensive satellites, and the distant alien fleet. Analysts on broadcast channels explained how humanity's ingenuity was keeping the city safe, turning a potentially terrifying event into a display of intelligence and coordination. At a command center in the city, military advisors and scientists monitored the same events. Dr. Malin explained to officials, the aliens rely on predictable calculations. Humans are adaptable, creative, and capable of quick decision-making. That is why our defensive measures are working. Our strength is not just weapons, it is thought, planning, and courage. Even as the alien fleet adjusted, they could not predict all human responses. The city below remained largely untouched, citizens protected by a combination of technology and foresight. Automated drones guided people away from minor hazards, energy shields protected key infrastructure, and holographic warnings kept everyone informed. In orbit, Lyra gave the order for a tactical demonstration. Deploy microdrones to simulate offensive action, not to harm but to show capability. Let them see that humans can respond decisively if necessary. The microdrones shot forward in coordinated arcs, creating bright streaks across the void. They did not fire weapons, but their movement demonstrated precision, strategy, and intelligence. The alien fleet paused, seemingly assessing the potential threat. Chen observed the readings. They are analyzing our tactics. Their hesitation is increasing. We may have shifted the balance. Lyra's eyes scanned the planet below. Civilians remain unaware of the full scope, and that is how it should be. Humanity's strength is in protecting our people. even when facing the unknown. As the night deepened, the alien fleet slowly retreated from its initial orbit, maintaining observation but no longer testing aggressively. It seemed to recognize that humanity's response was not reckless but deliberate, intelligent and adaptable. On the city streets, citizens noticed the change. The flashes in the sky subsided, and the warship's defensive satellites disappeared from view. People cautiously returned to their homes, discussing what they had witnessed. Many felt pride and inspiration, realizing that humanity had defended itself without chaos or destruction. Elior looked up one last time before heading home. "They did it, Mom. They protected us." Tara hugged him tightly. "Yes, Elior, that is what humans do. Courage, planning, and heart can protect even the greatest city." Back on the warship, Lyra allowed herself a moment to relax. "Tonight, we showed strength without violence, intelligence without panic. Humanity has proven it can face the unknown and respond wisely." Chen nodded. "They won't forget this. Neither the citizens below nor the fleet above." Lyra looked at the stars, knowing the challenges were not over. This is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and there will be more tests, but humanity is ready, and when the time comes, we will face them with the same courage, intelligence, and unity that protected Arendor tonight. The warship remained in orbit, its presence a silent guarantee of protection. Humanity had turned the first night of tension into a demonstration of ingenuity, strategy, and heart. The festival below had ended, but the lessons of courage and resilience lingered, inspiring all who had witnessed the night sky. Somewhere beyond the stars, alien observers retreated to consider their next move. Humanity's clever and thoughtful response had surprised them. The unknown threat had tested the humans, but the humans had adapted, strategized, and shown the strength of their species. And on the streets of Arendor, as families slept peacefully under the watchful sky, humanity learned an important truth. Intelligence, courage, and cooperation were more powerful than fear, more effective than panic, and more enduring than violence. The alien fleet lingered in distant orbit, its dark ships moving in slow, careful patterns. They had tested humanity's defenses, probed the city, and tried to gauge human responses. But what they had encountered surprised them. A species that was not only courageous but inventive, capable of strategies that were both precise and unpredictable. Above the city, the human warship hovered silently, its sleek silver hull reflecting the light of distant stars. Captain Lyra Vance stood at the command bridge, watching the alien formations through the ship's advanced sensors. She could see the subtle adjustments in their movements, hesitation, uncertainty, and calculation. Humans had forced the aliens to reconsider their approach, and now it was time to take the initiative. "Tactical Officer Wren," Lyra said, her voice calm but firm, "prepare the fleet for a coordinated countermeasure. We will disable their systems without harming the city below. Precision and strategy are our weapons tonight." Wren nodded. "All units ready, Captain." Energy pulses, microdrones, and sensor interference arrays are prepared for deployment. We can execute a coordinated strike that will disrupt their formation. Lyra turned to Lieutenant Chen, who monitored communications and enemy signals. "Keep tracking their fleet. Intercept all transmissions. We need to anticipate every move they make." "Yes, Captain," Chen replied. "They're adjusting now." They seemed cautious but persistent. Below, the citizens of Arendor moved about their routines with cautious optimism. Emergency systems remained active, but the sense of awe from the previous night lingered. People spoke in hushed voices about the warship above and the alien ships in the distance. Children gazed at the stars, imagining brave pilots and powerful ships protecting them. Elior tugged at his mother's hand again. "Mom, do you think they'll come back?" he asked. His eyes reflected both worry and hope. Tara smiled softly, holding him close. "If they do, we're ready. Humanity has courage, intelligence, and teamwork. We'll face whatever comes with strength." High above, the warship began its coordinated deployment. Microdrones streaked into position, each carrying advanced sensor packages and interference generators. Satellites in orbit formed a protective web, creating decoys and masking the movements of the main ship. Every action was calculated to confuse the alien fleet, forcing them to make decisions based on incomplete or misleading information. "Deploy interference arrays," Lyra ordered. "Let them think they have advantage where they do not. Maintain shield strength over civilian zones. Protect the city at all costs." Wren activated the energy pulses. Bright flashes streaked through space, invisible from the planet below, but devastatingly effective in disrupting enemy sensors. The alien ships faltered, adjusting their formation as the pulses scrambled their calculations. "They're reacting," Chen reported. "Some units are out of position. Their coordination is breaking down." Lyra allowed a small nod. "Good, now we take the next step. Initiate the decoy attack patterns. Not to harm, only to demonstrate capability. Show them that humanity can respond decisively if provoked." The microdrones darted in synchronized arcs, simulating attack runs. They weaved between the alien ships, creating bright streaks of light against the darkness of space. The aliens responded cautiously, unable to predict the next move. Every maneuver by humanity was calculated to maintain control while avoiding unnecessary aggression. On the bridge, Ren monitored the enemy fleet's reactions. "They are faltering, Captain. Their formation is breaking apart slightly. It seems they didn't expect this level of adaptability." Lyra's eyes glimmered with determination. "We have the advantage now. Maintain pressure. Continue decoys and interference, but do not fire directly. Let our intelligence speak louder than weapons." Meanwhile, back in the city, citizens watched with awe as streaks of light appeared above, seemingly dancing among the stars. News channels displayed images of the warship and distant flashes, explaining that the city was fully protected. People began to understand the scale of human ingenuity, how clever planning and coordination could overcome uncertainty without panic or destruction. Dr. Kira Malin analyzed live sensor feeds from the warship. "Their technology is advanced but rigid," she explained to her colleagues. "Human strategy relies on creativity and adaptability. That is why their calculations are failing. We are exploiting predictability with intelligence." In the alien fleet, commanders sent rapid messages to each other, analyzing the interference and decoy patterns. Confusion rippled through their ranks. They realized that humanity was not just defending. Humans were learning, adapting, and responding faster than the aliens could anticipate. "Captain," Chen said, "we can attempt a controlled boarding mission to gather intelligence. If we capture one of their smaller vessels, we can learn their capabilities without engaging the fleet directly." Lyra considered it carefully. "Do it. Target a single isolated vessel. Precision only. The rest of the fleet is to be left intact for now. Our goal is knowledge, not destruction." Pilots prepared for the boarding mission, coordinating with microdrones to guide them to the target. The operation was delicate, requiring skill, precision, and nerves of steel. Any mistake could provoke the alien fleet into aggressive action. The mission began. A small group of human commandos boarded the isolated alien ship, guided by drones and sensor data. They moved with quiet efficiency, overriding key systems and recording vital intelligence. Within minutes, the operation was complete, and the team returned safely to the warship. "Mission successful," Chen reported. "We have full access to their system schematics and communication protocols. This gives us a significant strategic advantage." Lyra allowed herself a rare smile. "Well done. This is what humanity does best: adapt, learn, and protect. The galaxy may test us, but we will always rise to the challenge." Back on the planet, citizens marveled at the lights in the sky, unaware of the precise operations occurring above. Elior gazed upward, eyes wide. "Mom, they're doing it again." "Protecting us." "Yes, Elior," Terra said. "Humans are amazing. We have courage, intelligence, and heart. That is why we can face the unknown and stay safe." The alien fleet, now disrupted and unsure of its calculations, began to retreat slightly. The decoy patterns, sensor interference, and the precise boarding operation had demonstrated human capability in a way the aliens could not ignore. They realized that attacking would be far more difficult than anticipated. Lyra observed through the main viewport as the alien ship slowly pulled back. "We have turned the tide. They understand now that humanity cannot be underestimated." Chen nodded. "The civilians are still safe, Captain. All systems functioning perfectly." Lyra allowed herself a moment to reflect. Humanity had faced fear and the unknown with intelligence, creativity, and unity. They had defended their city, learned about the enemy, and turned what could have been a night of terror into a display of courage and strategy. In the quiet moments after the operations, the crew of the warship shared a rare sense of pride. Every officer, engineer, pilot, and technician had contributed to the mission. Every decision had been precise, every action deliberate. Humanity had not merely survived, It had prevailed with honor and skill. Below, citizens slept safely, unaware of the details of the night's operations. But in their dreams, the lights above, the warship, the protective drones, and the distant alien fleet remained, a reminder that humans had courage, intelligence, and unity. Elior, asleep in his bed, smiled in his dreams, imagining himself piloting a sleek spacecraft, guiding humanity through the stars. His mother watched over him, filled with hope and pride, knowing that the next generation would inherit a legacy of bravery and ingenuity. Above the city, the warship remained in orbit, a silent guardian. Humanity had demonstrated that intelligence, strategy, and courage were as powerful as any weapon. They had not needed to destroy their enemy, but merely to show that humans were capable of extraordinary thought and action. Somewhere beyond the stars, the alien observers retreated to reconsider their next move. They had underestimated humans before, but now they knew. This species was resourceful, adaptable, and united. Humanity had not only survived the test, they had turned it to their advantage. Captain Lyra turned to her crew one final time that night. Tonight, humanity has shown its strength. Not through destruction, but through intelligence, courage, and unity. We are ready for whatever comes next. The galaxy may challenge us, but we will always rise together. As the first light of dawn approached over Arendor, the city below remained peaceful, protected, and inspired. Humanity had turned potential horror into a triumph, showcasing the very best of its spirit. And in that quiet, triumphant moment, the people of Arendor, unaware of the full story, dreamed of the stars, safe under the watchful eyes of humans who would always protect their own. The first rays of sunlight spread across Arendor, painting the city in soft gold. The streets were quiet, but there was a feeling of cautious optimism. Citizens slowly returned to their routines, speaking in hushed tones about the events of the previous night. They had seen the warship above, witnessed flashes of light, and imagined distant alien ships hovering beyond the sky. Though they had not known every detail, they felt a deep sense of pride in humanity's courage and ingenuity. High above, the warship remained in orbit, its hull reflecting the early morning light. Captain Lyra Vance walked across the bridge, observing the calm below. The alien fleet had retreated beyond the outer system, leaving no immediate threat. Sensors confirmed that their vessels were moving away, cautious and hesitant after witnessing human strategy and coordination. Lieutenant Rami Chen reported quietly, "They are retreating, Captain. No signs of further aggression. Civilian areas are safe. We have maintained our advantage." Lyra allowed herself a small, relieved smile. Humanity has endured and it has triumphed. But our work is not over. We must remain vigilant. The universe is vast and others may watch, learning from this encounter. Below, the citizens of Arendor emerged from their homes, the city streets slowly filling with life once again. Families walked together, discussing the incredible events above. Street performers returned and marketplaces reopened. The festival may have ended, but a new sense of unity and courage lingered in the air. Elior ran through the plaza, pointing at the sky. "Mom, the warship is still there. It's protecting us." His eyes shone with excitement. Tara smiled, holding his hand. "Yes, Elior. Humanity is strong and we are always ready to protect each other. That is why we are safe." In schools, teachers spoke to children about the bravery and intelligence displayed by humans above. They described the coordinated efforts of pilots, engineers, and scientists, emphasizing that courage and thoughtfulness were as powerful as any weapon. Children listened in awe, inspired by the story of the night when humanity faced the unknown and prevailed. Back on the warship, the crew began analyzing data captured during the alien encounter. Dr. Kira Malin worked with engineers to study the technology recovered during the boarding mission. "This is remarkable," she said. "Their systems are advanced, but they lack adaptability. Humans used creativity and strategy to turn the situation to our advantage." Lieutenant Chen nodded. "We learned a lot. These insights will help us prepare for future encounters. Humanity has turned a potentially dangerous situation into an opportunity to grow stronger." Lyra addressed her crew on the bridge. "Tonight we showed that humans are resourceful, courageous, and united. Each of you contributed to the defense of Arendor and the success of our strategy. Remember this. Our strength lies not just in technology, but in thought, teamwork, and the willingness to act wisely in the face of the unknown." Ren, the tactical officer, spoke up. The fleet may have underestimated humanity, but they will remember this night. Our presence and strategy have demonstrated that humans are formidable without resorting to unnecessary violence. Lyra nodded. Exactly. Our victory is not in destruction. It is in intelligence, courage, and protection. Humanity leads by example, and the galaxy must take note. Back in the city, people began to gather in public squares to celebrate cautiously. They lit lanterns, not as part of a festival, but as a tribute to human ingenuity and courage. Citizens sang songs of hope and unity, inspired by the realization that humanity had faced an unknown threat and come through stronger. Elior stood with his friends, holding a small lantern in his hands. "We did it," he said. "Humans protected their home. I want to be like them when I grow up." Tara watched her son, pride swelling in her chest. "And you will, Elior. You'll carry the courage and intelligence of our people into the future." Meanwhile, the alien fleet had retreated to a safe distance, attempting to process what they had witnessed. Their calculations were disrupted by human strategy, their formations confused by clever interference and decoys, and their perceptions altered by human adaptability. The aliens realized that humanity could not be underestimated, not by numbers nor by technology alone. High above, Captain Lyra considered the lessons of the encounter. "We have survived this test and we have turned it to our advantage. But the galaxy is full of unknowns. We must continue to advance, to learn, and to be ready. Our people rely on us and we will never fail them." On the streets, the people of Arendor noticed small acts of courage from the night before. Emergency drones and city systems had guided citizens efficiently, protecting lives without chaos. Civilians realized that their city, and humanity as a whole, was capable of extraordinary organization and care. The lessons of the night became a shared story, a tale of intelligence, resilience, and unity. Dr. Malin and Jorn prepared reports to share with other colonies, emphasizing the importance of adaptability, collaboration, and strategic thinking. They described how humans had protected civilians, disrupted enemy calculations, and gathered intelligence without unnecessary conflict. Their findings would become part of humanity's growing knowledge of the universe and its challenges. Above the city, the warship remained a silent guardian. Its presence reassured the citizens and reminded them of humanity's capacity to defend itself. It also served as inspiration, proof that intelligence, courage, and unity could overcome uncertainty and threats from the unknown. Captain Lyra reflected on the events of the past nights. "We have shown the universe what humans are capable of," she said. "We have protected our own, outsmarted the unknown, and remained true to our values. The galaxy may test us again, but humanity will always rise." Below, citizens celebrated quietly, inspired by the bravery they had witnessed. Families embraced, children played under the morning sun, and the city returned to its peaceful rhythm. Yet a sense of pride lingered, an unspoken recognition that humans had faced fear and uncertainty and emerged victorious. Elior looked to the sky one last time that morning. "I want to fly among the stars someday," he said softly. "I want to protect people like they did." Tara held him close. "And you will, Elior. Humanity is strong and our courage lives in you." Across the galaxy, other human colonies received updates about the encounter. They marveled at the ingenuity displayed, inspired by the strategic thinking and unity of their species. Humanity had not only defended Arendor, but had also demonstrated its ability to adapt, learn, and protect wherever necessary. Even the alien observers, now far from Arendor, considered what they had seen. They realized that humans were not just a species to challenge, they were a species to respect. Intelligence, courage, and cooperation gave humanity an edge that could not be ignored. Back on the warship, Lyra addressed her crew one final time before returning to standby orbit. "Tonight we have made history, not by destruction but by protection. Humanity has faced the unknown and proven that courage, intelligence, and unity are our greatest strengths. Never forget this lesson. It will guide us for generations." The crew listened in silence, absorbing the weight of her words. They understood that this victory was more than a tactical success. It was a demonstration of what humanity could achieve when united, disciplined and courageous. As the warship adjusted its orbit and the sun rose higher over Arendor, a sense of calm settled over the city. Citizens returned to their routines. Families shared meals, and children played under watchful skies. Humanity had faced the unknown, and the people had not only survived, they had thrived. Elier ran through the plaza with a group of friends, laughing as he held a small model of a spacecraft. "One day we'll explore the stars for real," he shouted. His friends cheered, sharing his excitement and hope. Tara watched from a distance, smiling. "Yes, Elior," she whispered. "One day humanity will explore the stars and our courage will guide them." High above, the warship remained, a silent protector and a symbol of hope. Humanity had faced fear and uncertainty, adapted with intelligence, and defended its people without unnecessary aggression. The city below was safe, inspired, and proud, and in that moment, humanity understood a simple but profound truth. Even in the vast unknown of space, courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome fear, protect the innocent, and inspire hope for generations to come. The stars shone brightly over Arendor, reflecting the brilliance of a species that had proven its strength not by domination, but by intelligence, heart, and resilience. Humanity's story was far from over, but this night would be remembered as a turning point, a night when laughter had turned to awe, fear had turned to courage, and the unknown had met the indomitable spirit of humans.